12-ish to help like skin and stuff like that. And at that time we didn't really do a lot though. We just kind of started scratching the surface of doing deer processing. We didn't have a lot of room, and then you just kind of, the more you do it, obviously, the better you get at it. My name is Tyson Wibbenmeyer, fourth generation owner, I guess you could say, at Stonie Sausage Shop. Stonie's has been here since 1959, when my great-grandfather started it from just a very, very humble beginnings, is what we like to say. You know, he kind of built it as more of a hobby and just you know, something to do. A very small cinder block building that he built himself. It kind of grew from there. So.
Well, my grandfather started with an old German butcher in Perryville by the name of Durr back in probably the 30s, I think. And he worked with Butcher Durr until he passed away. And he ran that business for Butcher Durr's wife for several years. And she finally got to the point where she wanted to sell the business. And he decided to build a small shop behind his house. And his intentions at that point were to do custom curings, a few sausages, and just minor, a hobby, I think, is how it really started.
It's grown tremendously when I first got into it, because it was, at that time, it was still pretty small, mom and pop thing at first, you know, and then just kept expanding. I think we added on several times to the older existing building before we built the new ones. So I think it's been special. It wasn't something that I necessarily thought I would get into either, but kind of like you said, I married into it, and it's been special over the years having our son get into the business with us.
So I graduated in '96, and I was working construction at the time for about a year and a half, and Grandpa wanted to retire. So Dad came to me, and so I thought about it for a while and ended up coming into the business. At that point, it was late in '97, whenever I decided to buy out Grandpa and come on board. I guess the process has changed over the years with the equipment and technology. As you grow, you know, obviously you find new equipment and bigger equipment to expedite, you know, your process and turn more product out at the same time or quicker. But the funny thing is, like, the science behind it, you know, sausage making and cured meats really hasn't changed a whole lot.
All of the recipes that Grandpa used back in the 50s and 60s, we still use today. The difference today is the equipment. The equipment back then was, obviously, we're talking 60 years ago or more now. Hand stuffer, small grinder that you fed by hand, mixed by hand, just a great big cereal bowl basically, and you mixed everything by hand. Anything that had to be smoked, cooked. We had very primitive closet type smokehouses, wood fired. So everything was, you know, like I said, it was done the hard way. It was labor intense.
I'd say our core values revolve a lot around the customer and treating them with respect and you know, gaining that respect from them is very important to us. You know, I feel very close to every one of our employees and try to treat them well too. We're not as rigid as a large company would be with certain attendance policies and this, that, and the other. We've always been very flexible with our employees and treat them you know, just like they are family.
I've been at Stonie since 2005, being so close to family. Tyson's like my big brother and Roger's like my father. So that's what gets me out of bed every morning.
I definitely do. I love it here. Everybody's awesome here. I like it. It's a big meat world out there that I didn't really know about, and I'm learning a lot, and I enjoy it.
I think the sense of belonging, you know, is important to me with my employees. I want them to feel like they're valuable, they're appreciated, and so I feel like that's the culture. It's fairly loose at times, you know, but when we've got a lot to do and we've got to hit it hard, they're not afraid to hit it hard and get the job done. You're creating something for someone else, and you take a lot of pride in the quality of that product. And from start to finish, you start with something that's wholesome and fresh, and you turned it into a creation of you can look back and be proud of. And I feel like when we're creating meat products, it is give me a sense of pride whenever you're done at the end of the day or week, and you can look at that and like, man, we created that today, and it's awesome, and people really enjoy having that, and they come back again and again for it. So.
Well, you just said it. Having the whole family there, and I don't know, it's just been a neat process all the way through to keep everybody in there. It's kind of 4 generations is hard to find. And we've got that. We've come a long way, sure have. I know Dad would have never dreamed it. I didn't either. I'm not sure Tyson did, but a little hard work goes a long way.
Yeah, I think there will be a 5th generation. I've got some, like I said, I've got nephews and nieces. Whether they want a large piece of it or just want to be along for the ride, that's fine. It's just kind of up to them, and I don't force that on any of them. I've always, whether it's an employee or a family member, they've got to be happy with what avenue they choose in life, and that's really the most important thing to me, as long as they're happy.